Hello class, in this presentation we're going to go over a method known as Didls, D-I-D-L-S, a method for evaluating tone when you're evaluating author text. First, let's review tone. Remember, tone is the attitude of the author toward his or her subject. Tone is conveyed through the word choice, sentence structure, details, and figurative language the author chooses to use. Didls is a way to remember how to find tone when you're reading an author's work. D stands for diction, I stands for imagery and figurative language, D stands for details, L stands for language, and S stands for syntax. And this method you can use to find tone regardless of what you're reading. It could be anything from a children's book all the way up to a comprehensive article in the New York Times, for example. So let's start with diction. What is diction? Diction is the author's word choice. When evaluating diction for tone, consider what words draw your attention. What is the language abstract, specific, or concrete? Are there words that evoke strong emotions? Are there words with strong connotations? And also, why did the author use particular words? These are the things that you want to consider when evaluating diction, because diction, remember, has to do with the word choice of an author. The next thing you want to look at is the I in the Didls, which is imagery and figurative language. So this is an extension of the diction because you're looking for something very specific. You want to evaluate the use of imagery and figurative language. So what words or phrases evoke your sense of sight, smell, touch, taste, or sound? So if you can see it, hear it, taste it, smell it, experience it, it is probably imagery or figurative language. And how do the kinds of images the author includes or leave out reflect his or her style? So notice that those 2 points. What do they include, but also what are they omitting too? So think about what sort of imagery and figurative language is included or perhaps excluded deliberately. The next D in Didls is details. So what facts or information are included and once again, or omitted? So what details does the author include? What details does the author omit? And details differ from images as they don't have a sensory appeal. They are just essentially the facts and information the author is conveying. So pay close attention to the details that are included. The next word in Didls is language. What language style does the author use? Is it formal? Is it informal? Perhaps it's slang. Does it reflect a particular profession or an education level? Is it very simple or is it ornate and fancy? Also, is it primarily figurative or poetic? Because language also helps establish the author's tone or attitude. The last part of Didls that you want to look at is the syntax. So what is syntax? Things to look for when you're evaluating syntax is, does the author use long or short sentences? Does the author use an inverted structure? Are there a variety of sentence structures? For example, does the author go from using a more lengthy, complex or compound sentence to maybe just a very short, simple sentence or even a word after? That is what syntax is about. And then how does the writer connect words, phrases, and clauses? Well, there are definitely rules of syntax that you learn to follow as you're learning to write language. Often authors breach those rules as a part of conveying that tone and showing their attitude toward the subject. So those are important things to think about. So once again, a good way to evaluate tone is through using that Didls method. Thank you.